Good evening. This user group presentation is being presented to us by Tom Dedrick of Jensen Cabinet. He kindly was browbeaten into giving us a presentation tonight on utilization of the cloud and how he feels that it's going to help improve his processes with communication to his customers. Tom's been using Inventor for several years now, was an AutoCAD designer prior to that. They're using Vault there, so they're using quite a wide variety of the Autodesk product suite and using it to improve business and improve sales. So with that, I'll turn it over to Tom.
Okay. We build cabinets for airports, ticket counters, gate counters, curbside counters, things like that. Our primary customers are American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines. We also do work for some airports specifically and some other smaller carriers such as Spirit, a new customer we recently picked up. Most of our customers, well, most of the communication with our customers is via email. We're dealing with customers that are always mobile, traveling throughout the country, and a voice message, a voice conversation is pretty rare because people are hardly ever available at the same time. We're working across multiple time zones and we're dealing with travel schedules. So I would say about 90% of the communication we have with our customers is via email. We have a recent project that just came up for American Airlines over in Heathrow in London. They opened up a flagship check-in for the customers with more money than sense. It's places that I'll never see because I don't have enough money to get in there. And they built a fairly high-end room for these customers when they arrive at the airport to drop their bags, check in, get their boarding passes, and what have you. They were very happy with the end result, and when they wanted to roll out the same design in the United States, they first did it in Los Angeles. And they were happy with the result there, except for the cost. They felt that they paid way too much for the cabinets that we could have built and some of the other things in the room. So they came to us and said, this is what we did. What can you do that will give us the same functionality, a good image, a high-end finish at a lower cost? So that was the goal. And what I'm going to show you tonight is the information they sent us, how we reacted, and where we are. On this project, we did not use the cloud, but I'm going to show you how the cloud could have made it a lot easier. There is a video here that we're going to start out with that gives you an overview of it.
Hello, I'm Lynn Allen with Autodesk. In this video, I'll give you a brief overview of Autodesk Cloud Documents, a web-based service that enables you to share, view, and store your documents in the cloud. The Autodesk Cloud Document Service provides 3 gigabytes of storage space for each seat of software you have on subscription. This enables you to store numerous files in the cloud, easily share your work with colleagues and clients, and view designs on your mobile device or with a web browser. Let's take a look. It's easy to store documents in Autodesk Cloud. Simply select the documents you wish to upload, or quickly drag and drop files from your desktop. Once you've uploaded your documents, there are several ways to keep them organized. For example, you can create folders just like you do on your desktop, or you can tag documents with different categories. Once you've stored your documents in Autodesk Cloud, you can access them from anywhere. All you need is a web browser to open and view your 2D and 3D DWF files. Because the design software is not needed to view DWF files, you can work from virtually any location, and you can enable virtually anyone to see your designs and collaborate with you on projects. You can rotate 3D designs and view them from different perspectives. And you can even mark up and redline 2D drawings, all through a web browser. You can also view and mark up files stored in Autodesk Cloud Documents from your mobile device by installing the Autodesk Design Review mobile app. In addition to storage and viewing, Autodesk Cloud Documents makes it easier to share your work with colleagues, clients, and other collaborators. Simply click Share, then enter the email address of the person with whom you'd like to collaborate. When sharing documents, you can specify different access levels. For example, you can give some collaborators permission to update your documents while allowing others to only download and view your files. The person you're collaborating with will receive an email with a link to access the document. Once you begin sharing your files, Autodesk Cloud Documents can help you keep track of changes or updates. For example, document activity shows when each of your documents was downloaded, viewed, or updated, and by whom. Autodesk Cloud Documents frees you from your desktop and can help you truly advance the way you work. So how do you access the Autodesk Cloud Document service? If you have an Autodesk ID and password, you can use it to access the service now at documents.cloud.autodesk.com. If you don't have an account or you're not sure if you have one, you can create an account from within your Autodesk software. Simply click the person icon on the product ribbon. After you've created an account, you can use your Autodesk ID and password to access the service. Thank you for watching and learning about Autodesk Cloud Documents.
Alright, that was the overview, and the first thing you noticed, it was free. It's something you've already got. The other thing is, it's very similar to Windows Explorer. You've got folders, you can create categories, you can create folders, you can sort by numerous criteria. What I have in my cloud is one folder right now. And what I did was I shared that folder. You can come here on a file or a folder and you can say share, rename, etc. So I shared it, and I shared it with Ed Rose, and I said Ed can download and update anything that's in this folder. In this folder I have various files. I have DWFXs, PDFs, a DWG, and some JPEG pictures. In this case, our customer, American Airlines, sent us these pictures and said, this is what we did in Heathrow. It's kind of a funky looking cabinet here with an agent workstation hanging off to the side and a low profile scale right there. So we looked at the pictures. We looked at the functionality from our history with American Airlines, and we came up with this design called Ver1, version 1. So we sent this drawing to the customer as a PDF because that's what they are used to seeing. But you can see that our counter is quite a bit different than theirs, but our counter also costs about a fourth as much money. And it matches our capabilities of steel work and stone and what have you. So this was, everything I'm going to show you tonight is conceptual at this point. It has not been engineered for production yet. These are concepts. So we sent this to the customer.
Okay, so tonight Ed Rose is going to play the part of the customer in our attempt to show ways that cloud communication can work. So if Tom goes ahead and brings up, I'm going to pretend that I'm the customer on the phone with Tom at this point in time, and I'm going to have him bring up version 1, and I'm going to start making markups on this drawing to kind of signify what I would like. So I'm going to do a text call out, and I'm going to say, Tom, there's an area where I'd like you to delete this bar. So I'm going to put the note on it, and if you refresh your screen right now, you should be able to see what I want you to remove from this particular drawing. And while that's refreshing, there's also some additional notes that I'm going to place on here.
And there you see the note that Ed just added. And Ed could be anywhere in the world. And we could be talking on the phone live, or we could be time shifted via email or the internet, however.
Okay, I've added a secondary note that I want him to try to add a more streamlined mount since I'm talking with him on the phone. You know, what if a mount is mounted from this corner, you know, kind of an L shape to mount the screen on, since I had him delete the bar that was holding it in place, the vertical mount that he had before. I'm kind of wanting it to come from the edge and up and over so that he can see that. And the last little thing, just an appearance note that I'm going to put on here is from this area here. Is that just a finish appearance. So I'll have Tom go ahead and refresh that note so that he can see that I like the finish, the appearance of this to be a brushed or a stainless steel. So one of the things that is important is aesthetics in this particular case to this customer. So, or since I'm the customer, I'm talking to Tom on the phone going, hey, now refresh your graphics, and you can see where I've added the new note to pop up, and that's popped up on the screen.
Okay, so we see the notes. We say, sure, we can do that. It's not a problem. Give us a little while to scratch our heads, and we'll come back to you. So a couple of days later, we took a look at it, worked through it, and we came up with version number 2. And you can see that we deleted the post, and you can see that we changed some of the finishes, and we made some changes to the monitor support, and we said, what do you think of this?
Okay, so in this particular portion, I'm going to assume that Tom had sent me an email letting me know about the new update. I went on, I looked at it, I added my particular notes to it. Now, one of the things I'm going to have Tom show you here after it refreshes is the notes, but he can also go to action or sorry, not comments. Go back out of it. Where you can see what's happened to the recent activity and see when I went in and did things. This is another thing that the Cloud Documents allows you, is anytime somebody touches the document, if they view it, if they make a markup, it logs it, so you can go back and look at your log and know when people were looking at the document to be sure that they did get access to it, that they did see it, and so forth and so on. So I made some notes for Tom, would have either emailed him back that I did it, or he could have noticed in the work of his day that, oh, there's some updated notes on this. And Tom?
Okay. All right, so here's the response from our customer. Maybe something else here. Let's change this monitor bracket to an L shape. And there you go. So we took a look at those changes and we said, sure, we can make those changes. And we came back with version number 3. And in this case, to help our customer understand it just a little bit better, in addition to a 2D drawing, we also sent them a 3D model. Now our customers, all they need is an internet browser. That's the only software they need. They don't need any CAD software to do any of this. Make these markups or or view these documents. So you can see here just as soon as it loads that we did in fact change the monitor. In this case we did not change this finish, but certainly other finishes are available. And to be sure that they were understanding what we were trying to propose for them, we also sent them a 3D model this time. So now our customer can say, oh yeah, okay, so that helps me understand a little bit more about what you're wanting to do here. Now granted, we just had an empty case here. We got a couple little weird things there that don't belong because this was still conceptual. But there would be a computer and some printers and other electronic documents in a drawer in here. This is the scale. So this really helps the customer understand better than what the 2D print shows them what this thing is going to look like. And at this point, we're waiting on their response to version number 3.
Now, Tom, as you go back, the cloud is not only limited to DWF files, but any format can be uploaded. So tools like Showcase, which will allow you to put nearly photorealistic imagery to it, and then save it as a JPEG or an AVI file on a fly around for the customer to be able to look at on their system, so they don't need a system with high-end horsepower, is going to allow you to be able to communicate that information to the customer too. If it does become a hang up of, well, gee, I don't like that laminate, I want something else, and what's it going to look like? And the key is you haven't built anything.
Oh yeah, this is all still virtual. And one of the things we've learned is customers love pictures, and they're beginning to really like 3D models. We've got a couple of customers that really like the 3D models because now they understand what they're going to get so much better than what they used to understand. Used to, we'd send them a 2D drawing via FedEx on a piece of paper, and they'd scribble all over it and come back, and they really didn't know what they were going to get. They had an idea. And to be honest with you, we really didn't know what we were building because we hadn't thought it all the way through either. But now with the 3D technology and the virtual prototyping, we're there a lot quicker, and we know the road we're going down, and we have very few changes, and it's just clearer, better communication for everybody.
So then this helps you close business faster.
Not only faster, but better.
It helps save time in the production shop.
Big time.
Big time.
Big
so
time.
in overall, it saves tons of costs.
It saves tons of costs. And the reason it saves tons of costs is because you do your thinking up front. You see most of your problems up front, and it just happens. Building now is secondary to designing, whereas before we would do designing partially, and then as we built it, we'd work it out. Well, now we work it out before we build it. Now, when we put a cabinet in production, usually the first thing we do is we release steel parts to our laser. Our laser is usually cutting before we ever start building a cabinet. Before, we'd build a wood cabinet and then we'd figure out the steel, and that took time. Now we've got steel that's being cut, formed, welded, polished, painted at the same time that wood is being routed, laminated, and then it all comes together in the end. It cuts down the time dramatically. It cuts down errors, and one of the best things I like about it is when we're done, we know what we did. We frequently will build projects just like that one, only different. We will build a project. 6 months later, a customer will say, man, that worked great, but we want to tweak this, 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 and this, and we want it over here. So we take our old design, we make our little changes, and we're good to go. It's like pushing a button. It's great.
Excellent. Well, hopefully all of you that got to watch this, just so you know, this was a re-recording. We had some technical difficulties at the user group on Tuesday night. My laptop crashed. Sorry, guys. Tom was kind enough to sit down with me and grant me enough time to re-record this with him. Hopefully you guys will have learned something from this, and this will benefit all of the users group. And again, I want to thank Tom Dedrick of Jensen Cabinets for all the time he put into it, all the effort that he put into this presentation, and look forward to seeing you guys in the January user group meeting.